As you heard there, the community of Norman Wells has opened its arms to support people from Fort Good Hope displaced by the wildfire. And joining us now, we have Frank Pope. He's the mayor of Norman Wells. Mayor Pope, thanks very much. I know you're busy and we appreciate you taking the time.
Good morning. It's my pleasure to talk to you.
You know, it's always so heartbreaking to see those photographs of the town and the images of the smoke billowing, but always so heartwarming to hear about communities that are mobilizing to help. And we know evacuees began arriving in your town on Saturday night. Can you sort of set the scene for us? How have you accepted those evacuees?
Well, initially we were expecting between 75 and 100. We believe we've got now very close to 200 people. But what's happened here is a lot of people have opened up their homes. We're very closely related to the people from Fort Good Hope. So a lot of them are being accommodated right now. We set up our arena. We set up our community hall with cots. We have access to showers. We have access to washrooms. We used the school as a kitchen, so we've got all the food up at the school in the school gymnasium, and we've got a lot of volunteers over the weekend cooking, a lot of people cooking meals in their own homes and bringing them over to the arena and over to the community hall and to the school. So we're being very well catered to just with individuals in the community. And this morning I have my town staff. They didn't come into work this morning. They all went over and cooked breakfast for the evacuees. So we're well on top of it. And just to add to that, last night or yesterday afternoon about 4:30, we had a fire spotted about 10, 12 kilometers out of Norman Wells. So we spent the night last night watching the water bombers, a couple of DC-6 water bombers, half a dozen skimmers, flying non-stop to pound this fire down so that we'd have more time to spend on the Fort Good Hope fires. This morning, we're going to go out and just check our local fire. And in the meantime, still continue to treat our friends from Good Hope well. Our swimming pool will be open today, so the kids will have some place to go. Our sports fields are open. We're doing everything we can to make them comfortable, and I'm sure they will do the same for us.
So you have a wildfire nipping at your heels at the same time as you're trying to help people who've been forced out of their homes because of another wildfire. I can't imagine keeping all of these balls in the air at once. What is it that you need right now in the community?
I think that we may have to reach out maybe to the Red Cross, or people with expertise to come in and maybe take over the command post in our community as far as looking after the volunteers, the cooking, the making sure that we have recreational stuff going for the kids. I mean, there are a lot of kids around. We got to make sure that they're kept happy and don't get bored with life. So I'm looking at maybe see if the N.W.T government will reach out to the Red Cross and maybe have some help that way. But in the meantime, our own staff, the sound staff, volunteers, we're doing everything we can to make people comfortable.
Yeah, how are people coping? What are evacuees telling you about how they're dealing with all of this?
They're worried. They're worried about their homes. I lived in Good Hope. I know exactly where the areas are. My wife's from Good Hope, and she is spending a lot of time just making people welcome, but they're scared. They're really, really worried about what they're going to find when they go home. The Good Hope team there, about 80 individuals in Good Hope, firefighters, working their butts off to look after their community. And our prayers are with them that they continue to do such a good job. But people are worried. We're trying to make them able to relax a little bit by taking care of them, but they're worried. That's the main thing I hear talking to people. They're worried, but they're thankful that there's no damage yet being reported, and they're thankful for the services that we're able to provide to them.
I understand that, you know, even just before all of this happened, you were having some supply chain issues, or rather issues getting supplies in due to the low water levels. So how are you doing in terms of supplies and things that you need at this moment in being able to just get them into your community?
Okay, there are no barge last fall to the end of the season, and no barges at all for this coming summer. So Buffalo Airways, who are known as the Ice Pilots, Northwest Territories, have a Boeing 737, and they have given us very, very good freight rates out of Yellowknife, hauling in loads of groceries, commodities, everything that would normally come in on the barge that they're able to fit. And they've, I think, about 6 loads have already come in. They haul about 40,000 pounds a time. So our stores are well stocked right now as far as the groceries go. Building materials are coming in, but we're more worried about fuel right now, aviation fuel, heating fuel. But we have Imperial down, and they will take care of that. Because of all the water bombers, all the extra aircraft activity, aircraft fuel can take a bit of a beating. But again, we have other people to take care of that. But yes, we're a little worried that if Good Hope needs supplies, that we'll be able to give it to them from our stores or from our supplies. We're willing to do that. We'll do that because we know we can get more stuff brought in fairly quickly.
Frank Pope, we appreciate all of your efforts there in taking care of your neighbors, and we wish you all the best with your challenges as well. That's Frank Pope, the Mayor of Norman Wells, Northwest Territories.
My pleasure.